You want to wait for the coffee, but I think it's coming on. So.
Oh wait, you ordered?
Yeah, and then you could get it done, right?
The pressure is strong enough. So welcome to Podcast Berlesen, people. Alright, so finally we have our guest after we lapsed for 2 episodes, just me and Lin talking. And we have the man himself, Jann the man.
What's up, guys? What's up, man?
Right, and in case you don't know who Jann is, just to give you a summary, he is one of the best producers.
Oh, no, please don't say that. But yeah, I mean, one of the producers, yes.
Oh, come on, you're too humble.
No.
Yeah.
I don't really put myself up there.
Yeah.
There are definitely way better people now.
So, just to set the tone for some of the audience, first time knowing you, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the shows that you have produced before?
Wow. There's a lot, man.
I think it's easier to say by game title.
Yeah, I think it's easier to say by game titles, but yeah, from anywhere from your Dotas and CSs to League of Legends to anywhere to Brawl Stars and your Rocket Leagues and stuff, you know, FIFA, R6, Legends of Runeterra, was it? Yeah, Hearthstone as well, Asphalt. Yeah.
I think it's easier to ask you, right?
It's just a lot.
What game have you not produced?
Probably the newer ones, I guess. Maybe. Oh no, actually, I've touched HOK as well, so maybe not.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, even PUBG PC as well. Done it before, so pretty much, I guess maybe 90% of the game titles, I would say. Yeah.
Fighting games?
Yes, definitely have done Tekken before. Maybe not Street Fighter, but Tekken, yeah.
Okay, so at least
something, yeah.
Okay, finally we identified which have you not done before.
Yeah.
Pretty much done everything else. And Jann has produced for international shows as well.
In the past, yes.
In the
I
past.
have touched it before. I was lucky enough, I would say, to have touched international titles. International events thanks to the companies I work for. So obviously they have their own internal events themselves. Right? Say I worked for ESL before, so it's ESL 1, you know, your DreamHacks and stuff. But I didn't touch DreamHack. It's mainly ESL 1s, which is already big enough in my opinion. So and that time was MCO era as well. So they needed like the Asian side to actually produce for them as well. So, yeah.
Right.
Due to the restrictions, you know, in the other countries as well and stuff. So yeah, hence why I got to touch it. It wasn't really offline per se, but if you're talking about the closest offline international would be MSC maybe. Yeah.
Okay, MSC.
Yeah.
And was that the Esports World Cup one or the?
Nah,
the one before?
it was so 2023. Oh, 22.
22 or
No,
just
22,
before the
23?
Esports World Cup.
Yeah. The one in MeTech, I don't have forgotten what year it was already. But yeah.
Okay. So that's just to set the tone of who
Yeah.
Jann is. Okay, but we're gonna backtrack, right, for
Yeah.
you. Like, what was your origin story like?
Origins, let me see. I'll start with myself being a gamer. So I played a lot of Dota back then, a lot of CS, a lot of... that was the games back then, right? When we were 17, 18 years old, you know. I mean, basically from 13 to 18, that's the only games I play, apart from console as well. I did touch console as well, your PS1s and stuff. So I play a lot of FIFA, your Chocobo Racing, your Crash Bandicoots,
Final Fantasy.
you know, your FFs, you know, and your all these games, right? Very signature. So like I played those, and then obviously when I studied in UK and came back, I was also still playing Dota after I got the degree. I didn't actually really find a job not till I was 24.
What was your degree in?
It was degree in broadcasting actually.
Okay.
Well, not really broadcasting, it's film and TV.
Alright, it's there lah.
Yeah, well, it's there-ish lah, you know, but diploma in broadcasting and then degree in film and TV in UK. But so I came back and then I found a job and got a few offers and I landed with Garena, I guess, because I love games. So, you know.
Garena was your first, would you say?
Yeah, it's my first, yeah.
Right. So what were you doing in Garena at the time?
So Garena at that time, I was actually tasked to be a caster actually. And,
Wait, what?
Yeah, so
Okay,
I did
okay.
cast a few games. I did get a few game titles myself. Back in the day, it was AOV.
League for sure?
Yeah, League. Well, not really League. League was more to Lin and all, but train them up, yes. But if you're saying casting for League, no. But I was mainly the caster for FIFA. FIFA Online.
Right.
Because
okay.
I actually like football a lot, so I had a lot of passion on there, and Garena had that title as well, so hence why I was there. Yeah. And so it became to a point where I had to learn a little bit of production as well. So the Singaporean team back then actually taught me a few things about the TriCaster. We didn't use vMix back then. There was no vMix back then. There was no OBS. Well, there was OBS, but it wasn't really a form of broadcasting, right? It was just to stream it out, right? But it was mainly the TriCaster that I was using, and we basically did a lot of league events, rebroadcast events of the LCK, LCS back then as they call it. LEC not much, but yeah, it was mainly rebroadcast stuffs into like BM, right? Just into our local language. And so that's where the birth of the casters, I guess, of today, as you all know, are here. So with Ikuto, with Lin, with Admats, with Husky, with Contra, Sakaichi, Hafiz, I mean, as in Decipher, Matthews, Isaac, all these people were born essentially in Garena itself, where I was part of the training, I guess, training them up and all. So I'm happy that they're all doing what they're doing now, actually. Yeah. Pretty happy about that.
And how long were you in Garena?
3 years, actually, before the unfortunate thing happened. Yeah.
Which was?
Which was essentially we had a CEO in. I think he only lasted for like 2-3 months.
Okay.
And then that, what's that term called again? Where they...
Was it layoff?
Yeah, where the layoffs happened, yeah. I think it was because Shopee came about at that time. It was starting at that time. So they wanted to downsize the esports end of things. So hence why Garena was affected, because the C group, right? Then you have Shopee and blah, 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 and all this, and BTalk and whatever.
It's the same group of companies.
Yeah. So you have all the subsidiaries on top of that C group, right? So they wanted to downsize it. I understand that because e-commerce was the way to go. And then their focus was more on that to rival the likes of Lazada and all this. So they downsized it, and then a lot of layoffs happened, and I wasn't laid off. Mine was, I quit. Yeah, because things weren't going well with the new higher up management that I was working with. I just didn't have that. I'm not really a politics guy, so I'm pretty honest in my work. So I didn't like what was happening at the time. It was just myself and 2 other colleagues that left, and we left together actually on the same day. Yeah, it was unfortunate, but I guess it just rounds up the 3 years in my life in Garena. I learned a lot, obviously, did a lot of events and stuff, very memorable ones. The first event I literally did was already in Comic Fiesta. What was it called again? I forgot. The Garena Cyber Games, right? Garena Cyber Games? Yeah. That was literally the first.
Lin might remember. Yeah. Comic Fiesta, Garena Cyber Games.
But he came after. He came after that. Yeah, okay. But my first cast was literally with Fish himself.
Which Fish?
Singaporean Fish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that I casted with him for FIFA and stuff. So
that's how OG.
Nah.
Okay.
I was literally put on the spot, and they just asked me to literally cast itself. So I was like, okay.
Right. So when you left Garena, were you the final staff that time? The final few staff?
One of the final staffs, I would say, because after me, there were obviously still layoffs that still happened day by day. It was literally every day I heard news of like, oh, this guy is now gone, that guy is now gone. And then, as an employee, right, I mean, you working there for the first time in the corporate world, right, you'll be like, oh my God, what's happening, right? Like one by one, and what's happening and stuff. So it's basically just a reshuffle of everything. So essentially that layoff happened, and to what it is right now, Garena is what it is right now. It's basically a very small team. It's just maybe the customer service team and League Ops, and that's it. Well, not even League Ops, probably just operations or whatever it is. Yeah. Well, there's still stuff in there, but not as big anymore, I would say.
So where did you go after that?
I went back to my, I think you could call it roots, I guess, because I did film and TV, right?
Okay.
Did degree in film and TV, so I went back to the filming world. So I got a pay cut because for those who don't know out there, if you are doing filming and stuff in the industry in Malaysia, doing advertisements, films, short films or whatever, there's always a hierarchy and seniority level within the industry. So if I'm going in there, I'm obviously not a senior or whatever, right? So I have to be, like role. I have to do roles of like what an assistant producer would do. You're not the producer. You're just the assistant producer, just getting stuff patched up and
The guy who runs around.
yeah. So just making sure that the budget is in check. Making sure that the talents are well taken care of. Making sure that logistics wise, things are going well, and location wise, and like everything. Yeah.
So like short ads and
Yeah.
stuff
So
like
I
that.
did for Cool Block. That was one of the drinks.
Oh, the drinks, yeah.
But that was so way back, man. I did one which was, I've forgotten. It's still in my LinkedIn though. I think I did pair it up there. But it was a advertisement with Siti Nurhaliza and her husband at that time.
Oh.
Yeah, it was for it's basically just property advertisement. Yeah, I forgot what the.
So your
Oh,
portfolio,
it was Puja Jaya or something. I've forgotten. Yeah, but anyway.
but your portfolio is that you have worked with Siti Nurhaliza.
Well, kind of, yeah.
Wow. It's our second guy on our podcast who has actually worked directly with Siti Nurhaliza.
Yeah, technically, yes. Yeah.
Right. Because in one of our episodes before this, we had a podcast with music producer Moharis Yaakob, who has produced Siti Nurhaliza songs.
Oh wow!
Right.
Okay, that's different then.
Yeah.
That's music,
That's like him telling Siti Nurhaliza, sing like this.
Yeah, that's literally like her album.
Yeah.
I'm just
Still.
I'm just a guy with a tape, bro. So.
I can't imagine working with Siti Nurhaliza.
Yeah, I mean, she was professional on set.
Right.
She's a very fantastic person to work with. Yeah.
Right.
It was it broadened my mind, I guess, in terms of film and TV and stuff. But I was only there for 3 months though. So essentially probation period, and then I'm off. So essentially
was it by your choice or?
It's by my choice. So I wanted to quit because the boss is let's just put it this way, it's not the right person to work with, in my opinion.
Okay.
I wouldn't say for everyone, but at that point in time, I was young anyway, so I didn't know what I was doing. But I did some casting calls and stuff as well. But I mean, in that industry as well, a lot of people knew my then boss. And I wouldn't shoot names or anything, but he wasn't as competent, I would say, in work. He wasn't really the nicest guy in the industry. Let's just put it that way. So I had it firsthand as well. So I knew, and so I left. And also within that 3 months, obviously, when you leave, you obviously have to protect yourself, right? You need another offer before you then jump, right? It so happened within that last month, that third month per se, I had it, and then I left.
So where was your next move?
The next move probably a little bit controversial. Well, I wouldn't say controversial, but it's not esports related or anything. It's Bigo.
It's a live streaming app.
Yeah, it's a live streaming app back then. So
that time they were heavily investing. There was one period where they were heavily investing. They got creators on board.
They have a lot of creators. They have a lot of rich people in there. That's what I would say. But Bigo is a very... I don't know whether I can say this now, but I think I don't mind. It's been a while already now. So when I went for the interviews and stuff, right, it was in near the embassies in Ampang. It was just one of the random terrace houses. I went in there, and that was literally their office in the house.
Okay.
I didn't even know whether they're licensed and stuff, man. I'm just saying. Back then, not now. Now they're great.
I mean, they could turn the house into a production.
Yeah, probably. But I was there doing mainly like ideation of like what these creators can do. If you guys are very familiar with TikTok and stuff, they have a lot of PKs and stuff, right? Battles and all this, right? So I was in the ideation of like in every day's monthly like schedule wise of events, what can you do to garner money in, for the app and for the creators and all this? How do you what's that word called? Sawe? Yeah. How do people sawe to you? Basically like to give money and stuff.
Like
that's the term
gifts.
back then, yeah. So like I even went live once as an admin because I was one of the admins. I had that logo there. So I was tasked also to like to see whether they have any infringements, any violations they've done. I had the right to ban the live stream if need be. But most of the creators are fine. I mean, they're all friendly. I met them in person as well. They're all great people, yeah. So I don't know what I should say about this, no, but essentially, I fought for my rights and I got a contract in the end there. Yeah, and for everyone else for that matter, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. But now it's fine, just saying.
Right.
So I guess you could say it is what it is now, thanks to me also, I guess.
So you became the White Knight lah.
Yeah. Well, I've seen some crazy stuff in there back then. You could cut this out, okay? But immigration people even came to the house, just so you know. Basically, I was working with Chinese people from China, so so that's why immigration came and stuff. So I was literally, what is going on? Like, they asked me, am I Malaysian? I'm like, yeah, oh yeah.
Saya boleh negaraku, bang.
Oh yeah, I know the Rukun Negara in and out, bro. I know that.
Okay, rukun negara.
Okay, kau percaya kepada Tuhan? Ya, kedaulatan undang-undang. No, kedaulatan undang that's the last one. Ya, kesetiaan kepada raja dan negara, keluruhan perlembagaan, kesopanan dan kesusilaan, and then right, correct. And then the last one was that lah, I guess. Yeah, kedaulatan undang-undang. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the last one? I thought kesopanan dan kesusilaan
Yeah, it was
is
the last one, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh god, we still is Malaysian guy. But anyway, I was Malaysian lah. But that was a story back then. So,
Okay, you know the five?
Yeah, we just shift it back
That's
there.
cool,
Yeah.
right?
So I've not. It's not that I don't know. I know it in and out when I was in school. Okay, it's been 17 years, more than that. 17 years, 18 years since I've been to high school. Okay, so you don't say that much nowadays. But anyway, I know it in and out back then. But anyway, yeah. So so that happened when I was in Vigo, and it wasn't nice. It wasn't pleasant. I seen all those happen, and after that we shifted to a legit office. We had contracts and stuff. I fought for it, and because we had EPFs and all these things after that, and then it was okay after that. Then I left after 8 months. To be honest, everything happened all in the 8 months, by the way. So yeah.
Oh. But why did you leave after 8 months?
Okay, so why did I leave? Because very good friend Jeffrey Chan texted me one day and said whether I wanted to go back to esports, and I said, yeah, why not? And that's where ESL came calling.
I wonder what was his opening lines, like, hey, you miss me or not?
I probably have the text here, but
okay.
yeah, but it was somewhere along of the lines. Well, it wasn't that casual. It was more of like just him asking me, hey, bro, are you interested in doing esports again? I said, yeah, why not? Yeah, I miss it. Yeah. Then he said, yeah, we'll give away ESL now, so you could come in as the producer and just do it. Now I'm like, okay.
As simple as that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So then I went for the interviews. It was easy and done. That was it.
So you straight into ESL, straight doing producing shows.
Yeah. So that was 2000 and
it's already 2000.
19.
Oh, 2019. Okay.
Yeah. So essentially, Garena was 2015 to 17.
Okay.
17 to 18 is like 18 is like a Shiroku thing. I think I stopped a while. Then I tried finding jobs and stuff, right? Because I quit, right?
Yeah.
So Shiroku was just 3 months, and then after the Shiroku itself, it was also Bigo in 2018 to 19, and then 19 is where ESL happened in April. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
On my birthday as well, April the 3rd. I went in first day there. Yeah.
Right. So how was your whole experience there?
In ESL?
Like, in ESL.
Fun, obviously. Yeah, it was fun. It's back to my roots, I would say.
Did League Ops give you a headache, like player always come late lah.
I mean, of course, there could be problems from my end to them. There are problems to me as well. It's a mix and match. But we are finding out, knowing each other, right? New staffs, everybody's new, and I'm back to it after a year plus 2 years, right? So going back to it obviously took some time as well and everything. But with the thanks to the Australian team as well, they were kind enough to teach me VMix actually
for the first time.
Yeah, and that was a 2019 thing. Yeah.
Yeah. For the benefit of our audience, the person behind the camera used to be the League Ops. That Jann works closely with.
Yeah.
Just saying. That's why we're teasing back and forth.
I have to give credit where credit's due as well. I worked with who's the guy who passed away in Flux?
Oh.
What's his name?
Yeah,
I'm
I know. It's in my head.
His name.
It's in my head.
Yeah, but you guys know who he is. If you know, then you know. They were there to help us with production setup as well. They worked really hard. And obviously, when I was working with him side by side, he taught me VMix as well in and out. He taught me all these things, and we had a good time and doing one of the Dota tournaments, ESL Dota tournaments. And but after that, when I knew the news that he passed away, I guess we had some good memories back then. I wasn't really close to him, but at least I worked with him before, so Yeah, I told everyone about it. Actually, once I knew it also, got the news from I think from Bacon, who works in Tencent now. Yeah. So yeah, got that news, and then yeah, sad times, but unfortunate. But life is life, right? Yeah, we move on from that.
Right. What was your best memories in ESL?
Um, the people. That's one who I can now call friends as well. That's why he's having a shop here. I'm still here, And then Hannah, who was here just now, who I think a lot of you know her as well, because she's one of, if not one of the ESL faces as well. She's always been dealing with logistics and stuff. She's dealing with everything, merch. You name it. She does everything, right? But I mean, yeah, the people definitely number one. I think the culture there, similar to Garena as well. I think it's just esports as a whole. We always have the culture, right? It's fun to work with and stuff. It could be the politics here and there, but I ignore it. But if you're talking about the people, you're talking about the culture, yeah, it's fantastic, man. I mean, it's nice. It's always in my head, like the people are always nice. And obviously the events I've done, I guess ESL is the only place that that took in a lot of game titles in that 3 years, I would say. So that's
many
where I
different
actually touched all of
locations.
it. Yeah, I actually touched all of those. Because in Garena they only had like that 3-4 titles, right? And you only can do those, right? But in ESL it's different, right? You do everything, literally, if not everything. Yeah.
All right. Let's zoom into your career of producing shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what would you say is the biggest challenge of being a producer?
Number one, I would say would be your ideation. I would say it's just when you have a project given to you by the project manager or your boss or whoever it may be, the first thing on top of your head is how do you want it to look, right? And how would you then talk to the graphics team about how you want this look the visually, to look alive, right? And to what you want as well, and to what the clients want. Sort of like a middle ground, right? But most of the time, as far as I know, when I work with clients, they are all fairly nice people, because every time when I come up with that concept, they're totally fine with that, right? Yeah. So most of the time, I would say, so it's easy to work with them, and yeah, I would just say the concept ideation, really. I mean, to be a producer, really, I think you got to know the game itself, obviously. Yeah, you have to. If you don't play it, you still have to know it, So, like, I've always been telling people all this, right? Like, if you're going to do a run or show rundown, whatever you want to call it, if it's PUBG, you put it at 30 minutes per game, right? It's on top of your head. It's already there, Like, average would be 25. But you always put the max, because you want to know when it ends, right? The latest time per se. When would it? Worst case scenario, when would it end, Jen? So you will normally make a rundown that is ideal, and another rundown that would hit the latest, I would say. So it could be anywhere from MLBB and all these things. Average is always half an hour, including delays and stuff, potential, whatever. If it goes earlier, then great, right? If it goes earlier, but always give a thought and always assume that there will be delays and stuff. As much as we do not want it, it's technology, it happens. So it comes and goes, right? But if you're talking about CS Dota, it's always 1 hour, it's fair to say, right? So that it's always in your head. As a producer, you already know, right? As much as you have done all these titles, you would know what is needed for that game title. If you're talking about PUBG, you know that you need a map and a observer director and stuff, right? But if you're looking towards Dota, back in the day, you don't need an observer director. You just observe. One guy observes, and that will be done, right? So you're so used to all these game titles that when every time a project comes to me, your mind is locked towards that so-called blueprint that you have, that you know what is needed already. I would straight off tell people I need this, how many comms that I need and stuff, right? Because you already know, right? If it's PUBG, anything Battle Royale, you know you need more observer comms, right? That's so obvious. So if it's asphalt, you know you need one, So it's just a matter of experience as well, I would say. Yeah. But if there are any new producers out there, it's just touching more of the game titles, I would say.
Right.
The more, the merrier. You will know.
So for the benefit of our general audience,
Yeah.
right? So just want to understand what the flow is.
Yeah.
So when a job comes in, right?
Yeah.
What is like step one for you?
Step one is basically what tier of a tournament it is. Is it just a campus tournament? Is it a national tournament? Is it invitational that needs a lot of VMix calls, with all the influencers and stuff, or is it a regional tournament, or even world, or even rebroadcast stuff? I have to know which one is it. So if it's rebroadcast, I know what I would need. If it's a regional tournament, it depends on the client how big they want to scale this. You want to do it better than the last year's edition. We need more stuff. We've got to brainstorm more stuff. Do we need like flying dragons, like Unreal stuff in there? If yes, we put it in. If no, we do it the standard way. And just stuff like that. It's all about the project manager talking to them. I would appreciate if they put me in. That's what I normally ask for, because I need to know firsthand like what the client needs. I could hear it firsthand, so that it kind of cut off that middleman-ish for a bit, so that I would know what they want one for one. At least I heard it already. Then I would know what I expect already. Yeah.
Right. So once you already identified like, okay, what tier is this? But do you also manage the budget?
Actually, no. Yeah, well, I mean, it depends. I mean, there are some that are not. Kind of. I mean, to the production side of things, yes. But if we're talking about the budget as a whole, maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah, but so far I've not because if I'm doing the whole budget, then I don't think the project manager is needed to. No offense to them, but I mean, most of the time they would be handling most of the budgets. They'll be just asking me like, Jann, so what do you think we would need to add for this, since the client wanted this big of a scale, right? Or it could be like in ESL last time I had 4 clashing events and we only had 20 PCs. It's not enough, So then how do you divide your manpower and your basically your extensions? It could be your SDI cables, your comms and stuff, right? And which comms have what components and parts in it, right? So you need to know and plan to actually make it right for the events. So if need be to buy, then we gotta buy. Yeah, if we have to buy backups, we need backups, just in case. Yeah.
So once you identify the scale of the event, like what's next?
Then it will be the ideation of it, like as to what I said just now. So it will be towards the graphics team, the animation team. I mean the animation team. It's also towards manpower as well. I need to call people up, I need people in. I need to know casters as well. Is there analyst desk in?
So you come up with the entire concept, how the look and feel of the show, what segments to add in, and all that. In
a way, yes, but it also depends on what the client wants as well. So I could propose first and see what they think and see whether the budget fits or not. If they're fine with it, then we'll go with that. But if because you could give the projection as well, right? Like the rates, and to what tier it is, I would give the caster this much because they're doing a higher tier, right? It's only fair that way, right? More hours, more pressure, and also you're not giving more money just because you have to. It's more of like because the tier is that big, so it has to fit within that margin, right? It's got to be that.
The expectation of delivery.
And the expectation of delivery is obviously higher as well. You probably have more call to action stuff, right? A lot of brands involved. It could be lower thirds. It could be going in game by what I did in ESL 1. When you go in, you need to play the particular stinger or transition that is Intel. And that Intel stinger is of a long version. It's like a 5-second one, not a 3-second one. I had another 3-second one. The 3-second one is more for instant replays. They bought that segment as well. But going in game specifically must be that transition. It has to be that particular stinger. If you played it wrong, I have to answer, man. So yeah.
What could be the possible penalties if you play it wrong?
Budget.
Okay.
Yeah, probably because it depends on what the project management team has done, right, and promised them as well, right. Hence why I said I need to know all this information, right. I believe out there a lot of producers. I guess I can represent producers now. You guys have that problem, right? Communication sometimes, when it comes to like, they forget to say things. Sometimes they go into meetings without the producers because we're preparing, right. So sometimes you have misinformation in between. And that happens. And so that's why I always prefer the producers to be in all the meetings. Because essentially you're producing the show. You need to know everything from top to down, right? You need to know everything. If it's call to action, if it's sponsors related, you have to know, man, because you're the one firsthand telling the casters what needs to be said. Yeah, the project manager may go there and brief you and stuff. But when a producer briefs, it's also of a different thing, right? We do it clearer as well. We know production-wise when the lower third is coming out, how big is it, where is it going to cover, where is it going to be, So yeah, so we know all these ins and outs, and that's why it's so important for us to know every information needed.
Okay. So once you have identified like what needs to run the show, then what comes next after that?
Basically prep. I would say looking at the equipment, whether we have enough. If there are shows ongoing, we can kind of pre-plan like, oh, okay, we can use the cams from that, but now it's live now, so we can't use it yet. But at least in mind, you have your inventory or your stuff that needs to be for this event, right? So say for example, last time when I'm so used to this because when there's clashes of like different events, then in your mind it's always all about inventory. Like, do we have enough cams? We could take that cam. What kind of cam is that? Is there a 4K cam? Is there a normal cam? I have to know the computer as well. The parts are different. The vMix com, the producer's com has always got to be a good one, the better one. Unreal as well if there is. The graphics, the CG com as well. Like observers and replay could just use your standard comms, right? With your 4060s and stuff, right? But producer's com is obviously like you have a lot of assets in there that are heavy and you have to render it live. So, which is why you need a really high RAM, high graphics card, high performance com, I would say, yeah. Also with the CG com as well, whoever is beside you, because they need to render stuff, they need to do a lot of graphics, they need to animate it, and the files aren't like small, man. If anything, they are like hundreds of gigs, man, sometimes. So
for hundreds of gigs for what?
Could be anything. It could be any animated thing, man. Honestly, it could be a video. It could be a full-fledged animation video. It could be anything, man. Honestly. So, and don't even talk about Unreal. If there's Unreal, that's another com to talk about. You probably use your Quadro stuff already. So,
how big is an Unreal file?
Oh, dude, man, I don't know, man. It's a few hundreds of gigs, man. I mean, to be honest, sometimes it could be a small particle. It could take up like 50 to 100 gig already. So yeah.
Right.
Just for it to go around 360 and flies here and stuff. Nah, man. It could be that big.
And also like the caster's background, sometimes if you use Unreal, it gives a 3D depth.
Yeah, if you're saying Unreal, then yeah, it could be very big, but it depends on how. If you're doing a 4K stream, then yes, it's big, it's heavy. But if you're doing your standard 1080p 59.94 whatever, it doesn't need to be. It's not crazy big, I would say. I mean, like most of the time when you do rebroadcasts or any streams that has that background and it's not really Unreal per se. It's just animated and stuff with a table and stuff. That's not heavy. That could just be a small MOV file. You can just put in there. You can just play it and loop it. It's fine. But Unreal is different. It's just mainly because it's very specifically to aesthetically for aesthetics, honestly. Yeah. And you're not just having the table there zooming in. This is like going around and stuff. Oh yeah, it's literally you're mapping the whole studio within a studio. You got. Yeah. So
I would get it because part of the show, but.
Yeah, so it's really heavy, and you will need one guy to do that. One guy to map it and create it, and another guy to operate it.
Yeah, but for the benefit of our audience, whenever they see a show and then they see like, why it looks like you can zoom in and zoom in and zoom in. That is Unreal basically.
Yes, it's basically Unreal. Yeah, if it's just one zoom, it's not really Unreal. It's just essentially there's a trick in vMix they can do it to zoom it in. Yeah.
So prep is to a layman's term putting all the parts together.
Yeah, essentially producer is just taking everything and putting it together, because normally when I hire freelancers, they do that one job only, right? They wouldn't know the other specifications of the other roles, right? They know to a certain extent, but they do not know like it, because they would depend on you to brief it to them. Like, what's the format like, Jann? How many games are we having? They always ask common things like, what time are we going back? And stuff like that, right? So it's up to me to tell them, because I should know, and in fact I must know, right? You are the one doing the rundown. You're the one doing the run of show. You should know what's going on. So if there's anything that's lacking, that's where the project manager comes in, I guess, or the client itself. If you need any last minute decisions, sometimes there are a lot of things that happen on the fly while we're doing live. It happens. Yeah.
The coordination sounds insane though.
Yeah, the coordination is insane. So in my head, producers are meant not to switch nowadays, but there are still people who do switch as well. So there are people who switch queue commands still thinking about what's happening tomorrow, and also like thinking about also thinking about what's the next action for some of the roles as well. Like I know that replay is coming up. I'm already like, so I have to pre-tell him really, like you got to make sure that your highlights is worth this much because we were delayed just now. So I needed to be lesser this time for this
Like cut
particular
down.
break, or whatever ideas you have. So yeah, essentially that's what a producer's brain is going on in there, when you're in a show. And on top of that, you have like clients that sometimes you look at you look at your second monitor and there's a message that comes up by the client and you take that into mind as well. But you keep putting priorities ahead. A lot of things are coming in, but you're always arranging it in terms of prioritization, like which one to deal with first.
How do you keep yourself so organized?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm the most organized person, but I mean, I would just say that it comes with experience. That's one. Because without experience, like how I did back then, you have to experience it firsthand. Yeah, it's going to be messy. It's going to be it. Yeah, you won't know what's going on. You will probably freak out. Sometimes there are people who would drop, and like they really don't know what's going on and stuff. Yeah, it could be that stressful, but after a while, once you pick it up and you know how things work and you could adapt to the culture and the way things work within, then you would know what to do, I guess. But it comes with, I'm more of like, I kind of can adapt to any situation-ish now already, I would say.
Because you're so used to doing
Because I'm
many
pretty used to
different
it now.
shows.
So it's like, it could be a stressful thing, but for me, it's like, it's just another day. It's
Just
all
another
good.
show.
Yeah, it's just another show. It's
So
all good,
good,
yeah.
Yeah. So that's the prep day. You basically fit all the puzzles together, right? As a producer.
And it's fixing puzzles sometimes for a few events in one go.
What do you mean? You can
If there's a clash of, when you have 4 events in a day, one starts at 4, one starts at, it could be
and you produce for all those events together?
yeah, technically I'm producing for all of it, but of course I have my other producers doing it, right? But they will still come to me like, Jen, is this correct? Yes, it's correct. Yeah.
Right.
But they're just helping me to do it. So I will do like the biggest one normally. Or sometimes if I need to train people, I will put them in the spotlight and I'll do the smaller ones. That's fine as well. Because it's only fair if everyone gets a fair chance to do like the bigger shows as well.
Right. Okay.
I mean, obviously things may not be perfect or whatever, but I mean, to be honest, if I were to do it also, it may not be perfect as well, right? Everyone's just learning every day. So,
Yeah. So how about show day? Arguably the most intense day for a producer.
Yeah,
Okay,
show days.
how's that go?
Till
for you?
this day, I still have that feeling of being nervous as well. Yeah, sometimes you shake a bit and stuff. But as much as I'm used to it, I've been doing it for a decade long now. I mean, you still have that excitement / nervous also. When doing a show, you still have that. No matter how big it is, you still have that in you. But you know how to handle it. At least you know what to do. At least, but it's more about, I always tell people this, like producers have to be the calmest person on the set, because if you're not calm, it just disharmonizes the whole team and then everyone will go crazy. So if you're not calm, the rest can't follow you, So just gotta be calm, start the show, don't think too much. The timer is just a timer. We all know what happens next, which is to play the bumper and the opening video. So we all know that, so no need to be nervous about that. If in case like it hits 0 and you're still not playing the video, no worries. It's just a small problem. Wait for it, take a deep breath and press it. It's still all right. It's still 0, right? So it's fine. So sometimes I tell junior producers back then that too. I say, no need to worry. It's not a problem. It's not a major mistake. If timer hits 0 and you didn't press it yet, it's fine. It's just 0. Take a deep breath in and press it.
To a
And
layman,
let it flow. Let it flow.
sorry, to a layman listening to this, right, they'll be probably thinking like, reach 0, press only, what's so high?
Yeah. When you're on the hot seat, bro, it's a different case, man. So it's hard to explain, but you got to be in the seat, especially when it's a show that you have planned yourself, everything from A to Z. It's a different thing. You would know what to do, yes, but it also comes with expectations and pressure from the higher ups. You have to deliver means you have to deliver to a certain point. Mistakes will always happen. I will always say that. It happens to everyone, even to the best of producers, but it's all right, it's live. Like I keep saying, it's not pre-record. Pre-record, you can take the bad ones out, right? Bad scenes out, mistakes out. But this, if it happens, close one eye, we move on. The show must go on. And that's for the viewers and stuff, right? So, of course, on the chat, sometimes they'll be laughing and stuff, but it's all good as long as they're having fun. At the end of the day, they're watching the matches. As long as the players are not having the problems, it's all good. Because the players need to have the best experience. And as long as we could feature the game, that's fine. The most pressuring part whenever starting a day's worth of live stream is always at the start. It's always the pre-show segments. It's always the heaviest. It's always the most content that will be in there for the first 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes even 20 minutes if you have analyst desks. So that would normally for producers, if not all, would feel the most pressure. It's just the pre-show.
Why?
It's the only, because pre-show changes every day. You could have yesterday's highlights, you could have an interview segment all of a sudden in the morning, and the guy doesn't turn up, but it's needed to be there because the sponsor paid for that segment, probably. I don't know. It could be anything, right? So, and you planned it correctly already, right? But sometimes, all these small little things may happen. So, yeah, it's always the hardest, I would say, because after that, it's always a rinse and repeat. You go in game, you come out, you show replays, you go to a break, you come back, you show ads, opening with video, you go back to the game again, and then you go to a break again. It's got to be rinse and repeat. It's always the start and the end. And so that's why for rehearsals, it's always rehearsing the start, going to the game, coming out from the game, and then you just rehearse the end. That's it. That's normally the rehearsal flow, I would say, because you wouldn't want to, you don't have to. You could, but you don't have to. Yeah, because it's a rinse and repeat thing.
Does your job end after that? After the show ends?
Oh, no, man.
Okay.
No,
What happens
after?
after?
It never ends. So, first person in, last person out. So you still have the task with the, I'm pretty sure right now it's a norm now for everyone to have recordings. So you have to stop the recording. You have to still, obviously there will be delays because live in the studio, but it's delayed for the stream. Depending on how long the delays are, you gotta stop it after that. And then you still have to retrieve the recording. Sometimes clients want it that night itself, the recordings itself, or they want stats, like viewership numbers and stuff. You got to do it there and then. So it could be you, it could be the project manager side, the management side doing it. I don't know, but essentially you still will be the last person to off the lights, right? And make sure that all the comms are off, all the preparation for tomorrow, other graphics updated for tomorrow, so that when you come in, even if you're late, at least you know that it's done. You don't have to worry about it the next morning. Oh God, I still have like 10 graphics to prepare. Oh no, it's easy, but still you have to do it, right? What if you come late?
Because sometimes situations you never know, right?
Yeah.
Traffic,
so
or
I always
accidents or
tell
what.
my team to always prep it. It's tiring, I get it, but when you prep it, you could go back and sleep all you want, because if you come back the next day, I can guarantee you it's just a switch of the on button on your comment and everything is there. Yeah, it's all done actually. So, and if you're not even there, which happened before, I could still press it because I know it's already ready, right? So I could just switch between pre-show stuff. It's already updated. Like matches of the day, it's done. Right?
So it sounds like when it's show day, right? Like
Yeah.
you would spend like maybe 12, 14 hours in the studio.
Depends, but yeah, I would say average 12 to 14 hours. Even though it's a 6-hour show or 4-hour show, the preparation is still as long. No matter how big of a tournament it is, because you essentially need to prep everything, and I would prefer to prep it beforehand anyway. So yeah, essentially that's always my list of things to do, I guess, for every day before I exit the office to make sure that all these are done. Yeah.
Okay, so last day of show, this is the grand finals, it all ends, champion, yay.
Yeah.
What happens after that for you as a producer?
Offline or online? It could be anything. Right?
Wow, is there a difference?
Oh, there is.
Okay, tell us maybe.
So if it's online, obviously it's just internally, right? You're doing in the studio. Like when it ends and all, obviously very happy, obviously, that the event finally ended. It's always a very nice feeling when the satisfaction is there, when you have done something, it's into your resume, it's into everyone's resume, it's everyone's hard work. I never credit myself. It's always the others, because without them, there's no show, man. I can't do it all by myself. I mean, you could, but I mean, it's going to be bad, lah. It's not of 10 years ago when that's how things were done. But nowadays, you need everyone to do their job, and because clients would target each and every second of it, right? It could be, a text in the ticker spelled wrong. It could be a graphic error. It could be the logo wrong, but the name correct. It could be the timing wrong. It could be the region of the timing, right? It could be using the wrong transition. It could be showing the wrong video. There's an updated video, where there was a slight change in that, which you didn't see the message, and then you play it, and then, things happen, So there could be any of those happening, right? So the team is important. But at the end of the events, yes, we always rejoice, have a good meal after that, or probably actually no one really has a meal. People normally go back and rest, man. But we normally will reconvene and celebrate it. But if you're talking about offline, then it's harder because a lot of stuff to pack, man. Oh yeah, man, a lot of stuff. 20 feet high, you gotta pull that wide.
So you will be part of the dismantling also and all that.
It's part of it. Yeah, I mean, obviously you would have your crew to do it, external crew to do it, not really per se internal staff to do it, but still, sometimes it could be your wires, right? The office, wires, right, and stuff. So you still have to clean them up. You got to count it as well. You got to make sure that inventory-wise you're getting everything back. It's not surprising if one or two are missing, because it could be faulty within the 20 days of tournament that you were doing. 1 or 2 or 3 cables were gone, It could be a computer's part that was gone. It was just left on the table for 1 week, and stuff like that. So you just got to keep track of inventory. It's very tiring, I would say, but it's also fun at the same time. I like it when, especially when events, you pay tickets and stuff, right? People come to you, they made an effort to go all the way to the back and say, guys, great job, good event, man.
You mean like the audience?
Yeah, the
Wow.
audience. They actually do that.
And there have been audience went to the backstage, says thank you for the show.
So despite all the hectic things that happened back there, whatever bad things that happened, and the arguments we had and all this, at the end of the day, client or not, production team or not, project management team or not, you're still happy, right? People came in and said, guys, it's good. Everyone, it just puts a smile on everyone's faces, so.
Who I'll blame in that situation?
Who?
Security.
Yeah.
How did you let the audience go through? Like, what if something goes missing?
But to be fair, to be fair though, yes, it could be a security problem, but to be fair, they don't come all the way in. It's just more of like, they're the silhouette.
Outside.
Yeah, they just had the silhouette saying, and stuff.
Oh, wait. So they maybe they wait at the back entrance or something like that.
Sometimes they actually do wait there and like, guys, it's really good. I just want to say, even though I don't know you guys, but it's been a great tournament.
No way.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
What show was that?
MSC.
Oh, the one at the MeTech.
Yeah, even though it was, I don't even want to talk about that, but you guys know what happened.
We met when you were there.
Yeah, but anyway, there were audience who actually said that. So despite everything that happened there, despite what I went through as well, I'm not going to say it, but anyway, it's still good for the audience point of view because they see one picture. We see all kinds of pictures. So, but at the end of the day, it's just for that one picture, and if they're happy about it, then I'm cool with that. Yeah.
I was there as an audience. Yeah. Genuinely, I went there just like I want to enjoy the show, and it was a good show.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay.
Okay. But when you do an offline event like that, right? Like I think a lot of people's imagination, like, everything's done online. But when you do an offline event, like the stage design, LEDs, how many and all that, is that under your control?
Yes, it is.
There's so much to prep.
Yes, it is.
It's insane.
It's insane.
Camera angles, drone fly in now.
Yes. So it depends on the budget we have, right? It all starts from there again, right? So if I know the budget that we have, then it's about me. And I know that my internal staff is not enough to prep all this. You could operate it, but not per se prep it, and we don't have the gadgets and stuff. Then we would use that budget, some of the budget, to hire external camera team. That's where they come in. It's part of the what do you call it? The freelance crew, I would say. The camera team. It could be the performance on stage. It could be MCs, your casters, and all these people are part of the freelancers, right? So these are all the people that actually make the offline events even greater and nicer. You see? So if if I hire the camera team knowing that they have drones and stuff, and I know they have the capabilities of doing it, then you get them, right? So you have to talk to them, you have to tell them the expectations, where is it? They would tell you what they need as well. They need this certain space for their storage and stuff. You have to plan all those out. You have to plan the stage. They will ask you how big of a stage it is as well, because they're going up on stage with the roaming cameras, right, and stuff. You have to tell them how big of a stage is it, how's the shape like, how's the lights are, because it affects their framing, it affects their their camera shots as well. Yeah, everything, right? Really, essentially, like where the stairs are, because they have to know where they're going up. Can I go up from the middle, or there's no stairs in the middle? I have to go up by the side. They have to know those as well. The player booths, is it all sealed up, with glass and stuff, or is it open? Just the booths. Is it a mobile tournament, or is it a PC game title type of tournament? They have to know that as well.
Like when can you walk in? Also?
Is there opening ceremony? How does the opening ceremony looks like? Are we going to rehearse it? Yes, we are. And I got to plan it with them as well. But that's the next conversation, right? But in terms of at the start of it, yes, I got to plan all this first, because in my head I already know like what needs to be there, how I want it to look like, and if the bosses, the higher ups are all okay with it. Yeah, Jann, you can do it. Okay, great. Okay, I'll just plan it out.
I can imagine, right? Like if there's a performance like music, it gets even crazier.
Oh yeah, it gets even crazier.
Because music, especially audio for the music,
it's sensitive.
It's so sensitive.
It's very I mean on offline, on stage, like in the venue itself, is fine still. You could still run away with it, even though it's a bit harsh or whatever, or there's a bit of noise or whatever. But live stream though is very sensitive. Like whether the MC's mic is higher than the music, or I mean in this case not the MC, the singer himself, right? Or the performer himself, right? Yeah, so it depends. So which is why rehearsals have to take place. It has to be live streamed but unlisted, just to check, the levels and all as it goes. So the audio person, the person operating the audio mixer is the sound engineer basically, is a very important man, because offline wise, he has a lot of stuff to take care of, and like there's a back of house and front of house, right? So you have two sound engineers sometimes, one for the live stream, one for the stage itself, and then we have to route it sometimes. Like audio from the stage to the live stream, to him to the live stream, and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of things to plan. Yeah. So I'm not the best in audio. That's what I'll tell you now, but I do know a bit of it. So as long as I have the basics to tell them what I need, that what needs to go here and what needs to go there. Example, I need the MC's mic, the music, and all these things into like my live stream. He will help me route for it, as long as I tell him the right things. Yeah. And then it's up for me to check, after that, it's a bit too soft. Can you, in our comms and stuff, could you put it higher? Yeah, okay, let me hear it again. There's a delay, hold on, and stuff like that. Sometimes, if you're doing it live, if you're doing unlisted, there's no delay, easier.
I can imagine if
there's a lot of things.
Components, right, to a show, like, okay, you got music, you obviously got the game and all that, then you have we want to have fireworks. Then you think of safety next.
Yeah, that one comes with scripts already, right?
Okay.
When MC says a particular word, you hit that fireworks. It could be you yourself timing it yourself, because you know that it's time.
And fireworks, you can only press once.
Yeah, press once.
So if you screw that one up...
you screw that one. Yeah, I mean, even in football matches now, when I saw the recent one for Premier League as well, when Liverpool lifted the title, it was delayed as well, that confetti thing. So, like I said, mistakes do happen, but you try not to make it. I mean, normally you will have a person on it already, literally right beside that thing itself. So, or near it at least, if it's coal sparks, if it's confetti, if it's fire, or whatever it is, right? You just have to really tell them, even if I tell you this, it may not be that timing. Sometimes you got to play by ear. So the second option would be follow my cue and my cue only.
So which is more priority?
Me.
You're the priority?
Even if we discussed on that timing, I would still say it, because it's what we discussed, right? I would still say it. But as long as I still don't say it, do not press it, because sometimes you got to play by ear.
But what if...
Sometimes players' behavior is different. They may walk out differently. They may have forgotten what the rehearsal was, and they walk out differently, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then the danger zone...
Yeah, the danger zone and something else, or maybe the camera frame, oh my God, the player's blocking the view and all. It's not nice. So we got to delay it, right? So then we got to prep the MC as well. MC, guide them towards the trophy again. Sometimes you have to do that.
Right.
And then say, oh, could you lift it one more time? And then you got to wayang a bit, and then make it like as if it's seamless. You see, so the players, go back again. They're, oh yeah, we're supposed to stand here. They stand again. Now you hit that confetti.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So that's why sometimes you got to play by ear, because sometimes the ending shot is so important because it not only affects, it doesn't really affect in terms of like audience or whatever. The audience are fine whether you hit it late or not. It's more about the partners that you got to, and clients that you got to answer to. It's about the media team. They're getting their photos. They can't get it right anymore. They live, but there's no spark. They can't get that frame shot, right? So you got to think about those departments as well. It's still in my head as well. So even they didn't tell me. I know that I have to do it, you see. So it's always juggling. It's everything combined. It's all departments in my head every time thinking about them, and like, I know they need this. I know they want it.
Including league ops.
Sometimes sometimes I tell them, don't ask me why, just do it first. I'll tell you why later.
Okay.
Because right now they're already lifting a trophy. You have no time for this. Just do it. Why? Just delay it first. Why? Just delay lah, until it happens and everything is done. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you for watching. Okay, so essentially, right, we had a good shot in the end, and then stuff like that. It needed to be delayed or done it one more time because the media team didn't get that shot. We got it now. Congratulations, guys. We got it. Everything all done. Yay, Happy days. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, sometimes you that's why I said as a producer, you gotta know what is needed to be done, right? You need to know, you gotta be really focused. No matter how tired you are, you gotta be focused, man. It could be a European live stream, right? I'm pretty sure you're no stranger to that. You cast late at night, go back at 8 a.m. It's normal, man. You still have to do it. You can't look sleepy, right? You still gotta make like as if you're staying in Europe and you're casting live, So yeah. That's how he did it before as well. Everyone did it before. He slept as well. Just saying.
Yeah, I remember the mobile. I think it was called.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not easy.
Days,
that's for sure. It's not easy. Yeah, it could be Brawl Stars or whatever, right? You're doing Middle Eastern like MENA, right, or whatever. It happens because we're not from that part of the world. Obviously, you're gonna be tired, But it's money, right? You're completely brought in that project. You gotta do it. It pays your salary. Do it.
What's the biggest, most intense show that you have done?
Oh, it's got to be MSC, man. For obvious reasons.
That's easy.
I'm not going to say why, but yeah,
Okay.
But
it's also the expectation from the fans, I guess. It's a big game.
I mean, it's a big game, so it's different. It's different. But if it's not MSC, and I don't want to count that in for that certain reason, which I'm not going to say, then it's got to be ESL1s.
ESL1.
Because there are a lot of deliverables. Really a lot. I have to tick on the KPI stuff, the deliverables that has to be done within the day. And if I missed it, I have to say why. So because HQ from Germany is actually looking at that piece of shit that is given to me.
A piece of SHEET.
Sheet.
Okay.
So I have to tell them, if we miss it, say for example, if you still could do it within the day, play it double time. They'll just tell me to do that.
Right. Play it double time.
Sometimes, because you got to hit it 7 times a day. Say, for example, it's the last game and you hit it 6 times.
And add, for example,
and advertisement that has not been played for one more time. You got to play at the end, You just got to fit it in, man. Because that's the requirements. And that's what they paid for. That's what you got to give them.
Right.
Or you could skip it and play it 8 times tomorrow.
Okay.
But then the rundown would change because it's an extra 2 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You just gotta.
And it's Dota, so you never know when the game will end.
So you gotta improvise the rundown sometimes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's just you just gotta fit it in. It's not hard.
So ESL1 Genting, was it? Were you part of it?
Nah, it's just online, to be honest. It's not really offline. It's just ESL1 Birmingham, ESL1 Thailand, I think. Was it? Yeah.
But it's still that intense out there.
Yeah, it's still intense though. It's still you picture it, if you do it in offline, it's just an extra
stage.
A stage. And
well,
being there.
The way you say, just an extra stage.
No. I mean,
no, the stage itself, how you describe it is insane.
Yeah. So obviously after that they didn't get anything, right? So I'm not there anymore, but they did it and it was nice. So I mean, essentially, it would have been that, if I did it offline. Yeah.
Okay. So
it would have been that. Yeah.
So just to understand from your POV, right? Which are game titles wise? Which game title is the hardest to work with, or the hardest to produce? Is there such a thing?
hard. I can't really say for sure. I mean, all of them are pretty much okay. Honestly, it's all okay.
Okay, I'm seeing a different reaction here.
Let me tell you, all games are fine. Okay, not because I'm the police kinds of what. No, this is just me being honest. All are fine. It depends on the requirements. It could be a Dota tournament, but it's very heavy.
Like you have like
heavily
10...
like contented, right? There's so much content in it, right? Then it's obviously harder to produce, to that extent, like if you want to put it that way, but or it could be a straightforward Dota stream, So I can't really say game titles per se.
So there's no
It
such
could be a
thing.
Brawl Stars, but a heavy one. I don't know. They need like 2 ads. I mean, I don't know. It could be like 10 videos you have to play.
2 ads, but one round is like
it's
3
easy, of
minutes.
course. But what I meant what I meant would be, I need this segment, then that segment, then to an interview segment, and then to that. It must be done. Then it could be hard, I don't know. Depends, right? What title? There's no.
I don't know.
No, there's no titles that are hard, man. I mean, it depends on the requirements only. That's all.
We need a League Ops episode after this. Okay?
Yeah, probably
say.
yes. Yeah.
Just say.
League Ops episode actually, because they have their own tough times as well. Because they talk to players,
yes.
they talk to clients per se, and players, like if you talk about Battle Royale games, there's so many of them. There's 64 of them in PUBG itself. There you go, 64. Getting them in, getting them to check in, getting them to be in the lobby, which I always stress every time. Where are the players? There you go.
163.
Yeah.
64.
So, but I understand them as well. They have their own, hardships as well. Everyone has their own hardships. Everyone has, it's not easy to call 64 people. I'm calling 20 people. He's calling 64 people, right? So, there's hardships there as well.
When that happens, the worst two words that a caster will have a nightmare.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
What word is that?
I hate it as well. I mean, I hate it as a producer telling it as well. But
Buy time.
Yeah. I have no choice. All the producers here, I have no choice. We have no choice. Sometimes we are like, if you go to another ad, they were just saying, right, if they go into game, it's not going to look good, man, guys. So I guess the best solution is always kind of buy time. Guess what, guys? Sponsor time. I'll just bring lower that out, yeah.
Yep, that goes 2 minutes, okay?
Yeah, because it's not essentially a TV station thing where you can time it. You can't, man. Yeah. You don't know when these people are coming in, right? It could be literally 30 seconds later. It could be like when I did with Lin, like the latest HOK event that we did. We went on a break. Then, we had to come back already. We were in game already. We started already. So it's hard to say sometimes. Of course, you try to keep it, systematic and all is good and everything. But sometimes, it's people problems. So you can't do much about it. And you're handling not just, like I said, you're handling 64 people, in fact, even more. It's not easy, man. It's not easy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. Unless, of course, my take would be for League Ops to kind of really prep those players, really bring them to one meeting itself, or else you have penalties and stuff. I don't know. Then maybe, but sometimes it still happens, So
I'm sure.
Kids are kids, so players are players. We all know that. So yeah, as much as we can do that, it still happens.
I'm sure they wish they can wherever you are, you're in the toilet, I don't care. I bang down the door, you come out now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen that happen. They actually really force the players to come and please sit down there. No toilet breaks right now. Oh yeah.
That's why we need the League
Because
Ops episode.
It makes sense also, right? Because players had that time to go to the toilet, but they didn't go to the toilet, but choose to go to the toilet when we're about to start the game. Doesn't make sense. Dude, you had like 20 minutes in that room, man, chit-chatting and snacking all along. You could have went to the toilet. You didn't want to go. You want to go when we're about to start the show. So yeah, it happens. Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, which is why I say, right, to make the event work is teamwork from everyone, right? I don't make the show. The players are part of the show as well, man. They have to make it look good too. They have to help us make it look good. I mean, it's contribution. If anything, the audience would scream because of them playing. It's because of them, not my graphics. It's them.
Imagine geography. Here comes an ad. An ad!
Exactly, which is why I said the players have to be professional. If they are professional, then in return, we can give out a good show as well. it goes hand in hand, lah. We can't give a good show if there are delays on stage, right? They can't show their best also if our technicality problems are always there as well. So it's fair trade, right? Like everyone's just got to do their part, So yeah.
It sounds like it takes so much to do what you do.
It's a lot.
It's insane.
It's just too much.
I can't even brain, especially when you do like major shows. The bigger it gets, the crazier it gets.
Sometimes I ask myself, how did I even do that also back then? I don't even know, so to be honest.
Yeah, we survived so many shows now.
Lost a lot of hair as well, but it's good. It's for... But it's for everyone, I guess. If everyone was happy with all the shows back then and all these things, I guess I did something for esports in Malaysia, I guess. Maybe not a lot, I don't know. Hopefully I contributed at least 0.5% of it, hopefully,
Well,
at least,
For those who are maybe from the local scene who are watching this, right? I remember one of the shows that we did together as well. Was...
No, we did a lot of shows
together.
We did a lot of
shows. But I think one of the popular shows that we did together was the PMGC or PMWI, they call it that time.
Oh no, it wasn't PMWI. It's definitely PMGC. Yeah.
PMGC.
During my era, it's PMGC.
It was called PMGC already.
That was a rebroadcast thing, but still it was big, we had a lot of viewers and stuff in there.
Yeah, a lot of my audience are naturally they follow PUBG Mobile. So
right.
You know that this guy actually produced the rebroadcast of Berlesen, Malaysia.
Yeah.
For PMGC 2022.
Yeah, that was way back. That was so way back.
Yeah, this is the man. This is the man behind it.
Like a lot of the PUBG stuff that I did 2021, 2022, you could say majority of it.
Did you do the 2019 PMCO?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did that
right?
too. Yeah, I did that too, yes.
Yeah, there you go. The offline one with the stage and all that.
Yeah.
PMCO or PMNC?
Both.
Yeah, both, right?
Both, right? Because they changed name during that same year as well.
Correct.
So I did both also within that few months.
Oh, so the PMCO finals that BTR won, you were the one producing it. Was it?
Forgotten, man. Honestly,
it's so long already.
Could be, I guess so. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I did PMCO, PMNC stuff, PMGC stuff. I don't even know what names are there more, man. Honestly,
the man who produced your favorite PUBG Mobile esports show.
But that was way back, so long ago. It's now what, 4 years ago already? 3 years ago already? Yeah.
So if anybody wants to come up and say that, hey, you know what? I want to be an esports show producer.
No, go.
What does it take?
Oh, it just takes passion, man. Honestly, it just takes passion and don't give up on it. There will be a lot of shortcomings, a lot of stress, a lot of communication, misinformation, and all these things. But don't be disheartened by it. Just experience it. You need the experience as well, and try to touch as many game titles as you can. Try to do as many shows as you can. No matter how small it is, no matter how big it is, just do it.
What skills do they need to do what you do?
Definitely a little bit of you need software knowledge. To the very least, you need to know how to stream out as well. If you know OBS, vMix, Restreams, all that technicality of softwares. You need to know a little bit of tech as well, like internet, IT stuff-ish. I'm not saying coding. You don't have to code. You don't have to do APIs. But if you have a bit of knowledge, or at least knowing what it is, that'll be great.
You're not lost when people talk to you.
Because when you produce, at least you know what to tell the person of what to do, right? At least you know what you need, right? How much speed you need, and stuff like that. So with whatever the scale of a tournament is, you would need a little bit of management and communication skills because you're going to talk to a lot of people. You're going to manage a lot of the rostering, a lot of the manpower stuff, a lot of the inventory stuff. What you need more, if you have a clash of, like I say, if you have multiple events to be done and you're the only producer, you got to plan that as well. And also you need some, you basically need those, I would say. Also, you need to expect also that you have to deliver clients' demands, internally your own project management team and bosses, the higher-ups demands as well. You got to hit all of those, so you may have the freedom to a certain extent in terms of ideation and all, but you need all those skills, essentially software management, communication, ideation. Basically just graphic knowledge, basically just visualization. I would say, like if you know how concepts work, you know how graphics should look like. You need to be influenced by you. If you hear a lot of music, you see a lot of movies, you see a lot of TV shows, advertisements, all this animation or whatever, anime, you know, or whatever. Or yeah, it brings that life in you, like, you know, when it comes to ideation, like, you know, because then the graphics team would know then how to actually make this good, like, you know, how to make events based on what you want, like, you know. Yeah.
And every producer has like their different key skill set, right?
Yeah.
Would you say so?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
What would you say is yours?
Mine is more towards the concept and ideation of how a stream would look like, and two, I guess, I wouldn't say man management, but probably communication. I would say is one of my skills as well. A lot of people don't have that, by the way. Communication is always so it's always for me to find out what's going on. If I know there's a misinformation, I'll directly go to the client if I have to. Yeah, I always do that. So yeah, and because most of the time I know the clients myself already, more than the project manager knows them. I'm actually close to them. So like, if you're talking about all these clients that we know nowadays, like or back in the day, like Syed from Tencent, or no, last time from Garena, now he's in Tencent. You talk about Siuho, you talking about Ban from Riot, you talking about Delana from Garena, you talking about Fern from 2K or whatever. Yeah, I know all these people are May from Blizzard, you know, and all these people, I already know them in person already. So sometimes I could just skip the project manager and just ask them straight what they need, tell me, I'll do it for them. If need be, you know, I'll try not to, but if need be and I know it's urgent, I will do that. And I'll try my best to deliver it to them, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, even Jun Liang also, to that matter. Yeah, even him as well. Yeah, I know the guy well also. Yeah.
From my POV, so one key memory that I had, right, was when we did the Wild Rift. I think it was the first season.
I knew you were gonna break that up. Yeah, it is very fun. Actually.
Wow.
That was crazy, man. Like, I mean, yeah, we don't have that many views and stuff, but I mean, man, when you guys do those Maggie segments, eating all this Maggie, oh my. Dude, that was just fun. No, actually, honestly, even though not many viewers were there, but those viewers actually liked it. You know, like they were that league community that actually liked it so much.
Yeah.
You know, like to the music, to the
the music,
eating, to the Maggie eating, to like the games. You know, it was just crazy. Yeah, Giant Dragons back then, you know, and all this. It was just fun. I mean,
we had a long conversation about your music choice that time. I remember. So you were explaining on like, if those like during those countdown segments and all, or in between series segments, you would prefer to always pick music that has lyrics, and the lyrics will always match with
to what the
vibe
situation
of the
is.
show.
To what what are they fighting for? The theme at that point of time. It could be a last minute decision by me putting that music in also, because I felt that it's punchy enough to give people that hype, to make people even stay at that countdown, because it's short, right? 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
But they know that this game is like going to be the epitome of what it is, to end it all, right? After all these 2 weeks worth of fighting, 2 weeks worth of like crazy matches and all this is what it is, right? So you need the right track, in fact, to put it in there. So I try to choose my music. I love music, man. So I mean, I try to choose music that is applicable for that moment only. Yeah. Sometimes I actually most of my prep time is on music, you know, actually, funny or not. It's not graphics. People normally say graphics, you know. Nah, man, mine is music actually. Because it doesn't feel right, man, this music. No, I need some really. It could be rap, it could be rock, it could be whatever, but it fits the graphics, colors at that time, you know, and stuff. I have to think about all these things as well. So to actually really put it in there, and it gives hype to you guys as well. It relays the energy to you guys after you hear the music. Oh man, this is the last thing going on. So it falls to them as well. They have that energy plus, you know, buff, you know, and then they can do it, you know. Yeah, so I try to. I don't tell you guys why I do it, but I just do it that because I know it would in turn be like that.
Yeah,
without telling. Yeah,
and I can tell you that okay. So normally, like, okay, break time, you know, everyone just gets off the set, go for a break, right? I would still be like, This is so good. I would just be
Yeah.
sitting there still with my headphones on and still listening to it. Like,
If there's
so
one,
good.
if there's one thing, I mean, there are a lot of events that people don't really care about the music as much. They just play that few tracks, they loop it, right? So not that it's wrong, obviously, because people are there for the games. I get it, but to me, it's also important aspect. It brings out the character in your producing as well. Audience may not know this, but people who do production would know this. They'll be like, that track though, and stuff like that. Who knows, right? Who's going to watch it? So like, when it comes to tracks, I mean, I'm very sensitive about it. I would really want to choose like tracks that really fit the whole theme about it, really.
Oh yeah.
I love it a lot, man. It takes hours, man, to find the right track sometimes. It's hard, man. Yeah. But it takes hours. But I'll eventually get it, obviously. Or if I have to settle for this track, I'll just settle in my second choice. But sometimes I really will go all the way to the wee hours in the morning, even hours before the stream starts. I'm still there finding a track just because I want to get it out there at the start of the countdown. Even though I know no one will watch it, but as a whole, it's a record there forever, right? In YouTube, right? At least I know that if people were to revisit it one day, it starts with that track.
Yeah, but because of that, right, people start to like, I'll tune in for the countdown. I don't know if anyone actually does that. Maybe you guys can tell.
I seen some comments on when we did the Wild Rift that people were talking about the music. Very ESL related projects that we gotten in. I would say during my time at that time was when a lot of I had even comments of like, and that's where I knew that they were loyal people. Like I had like viewers that came into the chat and said it was a COD thing, and they were like, "Isn't this track used in the Wild Rift as well?" Wow, man, you are just an ESL fanboy, dude. Like, come on, man. I mean, I thank you so much. Like, if you've seen comments like this, you would know that they actually focus on the music as well. Right? At that point in time, you would know that they actually like the music. Right? It's not, but of course, not all of them, right? But you have a fair few, So, yeah, it's nice, and because of that, it pumps me up even more. And I will put in more effort to it,
That's
to give
beautiful.
them the right, what do you call it? The right feeling towards it, every time. A break is just a break. People normally look at it that way, but to me, nah, man, it's a different situation now. Example, XX team is fighting for their lives, and they are one of the top seeds. I gotta put a song that is epic enough to tell people that the storyline right now, if you haven't noticed, is a top seed would go out by this round, man. So they're fighting for their lives, and it's the very last game. I gotta put that in, and stuff like that. Yeah,
That's just amazing. It's just amazing.
yeah. It's just a small aspect, actually, but it could affect a lot, actually.
Okay. So I wouldn't say what's next for Jann, but okay, what's current for Jann? I mean,
currently for me, I'm still
you've left ESL.
Yeah, I left ESL. I joined Mineski. I haven't said that part, but I joined Mineski, but just for a brief moment. Did MSC, some Vivo, PUBG stuff, and then I left. And then essentially, I've been doing freelance a lot. I'm lucky enough that people are still asking for my service, to help them and stuff. So a lot of the big EOs are still asking me for help and all. And also clients as well, have been asking me for help as well. Yeah,
Corporate shows.
Yeah, corporate shows. Yeah, I'm doing more to that now, like corporate shows, other sports shows and stuff. Esports I still do touch it, but not as much. But I still do it. I mean, I'm helping Adrian out in July with a few of the iQOO shows, yeah, the HOK ones and stuff. But it's simple shows and stuff like that. But, just helping out and stuff. Man's got to live, right? I need some money, man. So, yeah.
Of course.
I mean, we still have our, So I appreciate those, like they still appreciate me, I would say, and I thank them for that. I'm lucky enough not needing to find jobs, to be honest. I mean, I'm always free actually, so I may open up a business as well, very TCG related. Because I love TCG now, but Adrian knows about this as well. He was in the podcast here before, right? So yeah, he would know about it. But he's into TCG as well. I want to vend, be a vendor and trade and buy and sell cards and stuff, slabs and all this. But yeah, I don't get me wrong, I'll still be in the esports scene, but not as big anymore. I've been there for 10 years anyway. But I guess that's, if you want to know what's next for me, that is literally what it is. Like, I'll still be doing shows. I'll still be doing, but not your major ones. Maybe I'm not going to EWC or anything, but it's all right. I'm fine with that. But yeah, more to TCG stuff. I'm still doing corporate shows. Yeah,
It's your evolution lah, basically.
yeah,
right?
sport shows as well and stuff. So yeah, getting quite okay money for it. So yeah, good times.
Right. So we are towards the end of our sharing session. So as a final sharing from you, right? Like, what would be your advice to people who want to be in the esports scene?
Passion is one, but commitment is also another thing you have to look into. Yeah, because a lot of people have passion, but when they fall into the category of working for an esports company or teams or whatever it may be, they can't commit. They don't put in their 100%, right? Because at the end of the day, you look back at it, I just love games, but working for it is different. We were in the scene for long enough, so we know everything in and out, right? It's still a working, you're still a workhorse. You still have to make it work. You're part of growing the esports scene in Malaysia. So it's not just passion, it's commitment. Ask yourself that, that whether you can grind or not, whether you give your all and actually improve, not just yourself, not just the company you work for, but indirectly also for the other EOs out there, for as a whole, like esports industry as a whole, for the players, for team managers alike. It could be organizations, it could be even the developers as well, like you're making everyone shine, right? That one event makes the developer shine, or EO shine, you shine, staff shines, player shines and all. So passion is one thing, right? Everyone has that, but it's about commitment as well. Don't do things unwillingly, like if you love it, then do it. If you can't do it, I'd rather you not be in it. I'd rather like you just play your games. But if you're going into this industry, have the passion, but also have the commitment for it. It's not going to be easy, man. That's what I tell you. So you love games, but I love production as well, right? That's why I'm in it. You need to have a skill set per se in order to like it that goes well with the gaming industry as well, with the passion of the games that you have. So that's my advice. I would say, think about it. If you're a new student or if you are a fresh grad and you're thinking about, I was a player, should I go into it? I mean, if you don't want to work as that, you could go to coaching. That's fine. It could be a consultant, you could be analyst, you could be, anything apart from working for EO or whatever. Yeah, it could be project management, it could be league ops maybe for players. That works as well because you are a player yourself, you have been part of that. You would know what to do, marshalling maybe. Yeah, referees and stuff, yeah.
Which we are going to get on the next episode, right?
Yeah.
Right?
That would be a good topic.
Right.
That would be a good topic to start, actually, because it's a very important segment, actually. It's a very important the department, actually, if anything, because they are in charge of the players, man.
Oh, yeah. How much do you love your league ops?
A lot, obviously, but, man. Sometimes, sometimes.
So,
Come on. I mean, I wouldn't say that I didn't give them hardships as well. I did myself, but I mean, sometimes, people, sleep in the office. I'm like, man, the game ended. The guy is sleeping. I need my next game up, I'm like, where's my next game, man? Look behind, sleeping. Okay.
Shots fired.
Just
okay,
kidding,
you have the chance to fire shots back.
Yeah, I'm kidding, but it's tiring. We all understand that. So sometimes I do sleep sometimes, but it depends, Sometimes you can't block it because I nowadays I don't sleep. Obviously, I'm always professional in what I'm doing. But back then, man, when we were doing the AM shows, man, it's not easy, bro. I have to ask like Adrian or whoever. He was observer back then. I was like, wake me up, please, when I really cannot.
Oh.
Stuff. As long as I've done my part, I'll just, if I have to doze off for like 10 minutes at least, that'll be great, man. You just need that power nap and you come up, do another 3 hours. Sometimes it can be that tiring because you set up and do on the same day. It's not easy, man.
Set up and do on the same
Oh,
day.
yeah, it happens. I'm pretty sure a lot of producers out there had it before, man. It's not easy. And you still have to carry as well. Screw in everything. Put a deck link card in there or last minute stuff. Yeah, there's so many things. Yeah.
Oh man, you need to have so much skill set from the
Yeah,
handyman.
oh no,
lah.
I gotta update stuff. Oh no, this is not updated yet. Oh god, and then there's a lot of things,
Wow, I think there's these are a lot of information that is a lot of people don't see because it happens behind the scenes.
Yeah,
so I believe that a lot of people will have a newfound respect for people who does production work like yourself.
Hopefully, yes. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy. But like I said, don't. If you like it though, learn it, experience it. It's actually pretty fun. Actually, if anything, right? I did all of this is because I love the satisfaction that I get after that. It's very nice. It's very nice. Every time when you see the show end, right, with confetti and all, it's such a beautiful moment.
And
you
then-
know you've done it. You've done it, man.
You see the confetti, the show ends, you're
Yeah.
satisfied.
You're
And then, okay,
It brings a smile to everyone's face.
Pick up
right?
wire.
Yeah, but the pick up wire part, not really. But yeah, I mean
the confetti nice,
Yeah.
but the wire part, maybe,
don't really like that. But forced to, like, it's part of the job, man. But at least you know it ended.
Yeah.
At least you know it's over.
Yeah.
At least if you're picking up wires, you're like, thank God it finally ended. Yeah. At least we did it right. I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much, Jen, for
Yeah, no
this
worries.
sharing.
Yep.
It's been amazing
Yeah.
hearing your POV. And for all of you out there, who would you like to hear next as our guest? So if you have a preferred guest, do leave it in the comment section. We might try to bring the person on board. If you want to hear it from a marshal or lead ops perspective, let us know as well.
Yeah, I think League should be in. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have, wait, I mean,
I have not. Well,
Oh yeah.
Well, Adrian.
Technically.
Well, we can always get another one.
Yeah, I mean, different perspective, man. This is from.
When you said that,
CG. Audio. We have not done audio yet. We will have a
Or
lot.
like Edric or whatever, because you know why? Because it's different. Because for them, when you do conferences, it's totally different. When you do esports, a lot of different thing, man.
When you do
them, it's like-
esports offline event.
If you get Edric's knowledge on that, right, and the POV of that, he will tell you everything, man. I mean, like, honestly, when he came first time in esports, he's like mind blown. Oh my god, you guys need a lot of things, man. Yeah, because conference is simple, right? You just need one mic, boom, done. You if you're doing like elections type of campaign or whatever, boom, one mic done, right? But this one is like, I don't know, man.
it's like-
One mic law, this law, and now you need this. Why do you all need some more? Yeah. There's a lot of things involved, man. It's heavy, man.
It's crazy, but
Crazy, yeah.
yeah, a lot more to come, ladies and gentlemen. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as usual. That is very cliche. See you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Boom.